My story began in August of 2020, initially with a diagnosis of breast cancer. And from there, we went into chemotherapy and surgeries and those sorts of things. In that time, we did find another cancer. And that cancer was lung cancer. And when I found out that I had two cancers, I was questioned, had I been in farm environments, had I smoked, and none of those answers were yes. And so at that point, the surgeon asked me if I had ever heard of radon, and I hadn't. And so I looked into it, and I learned that radon is an odorless, colorless, and tasteless gas. It is present in many homes, and that we are somewhat of a hotspot for radon in Saskatchewan. Breathing in all that radiation all the time can harm the lungs over a period of time, and it creates damage and eventually can lead to lung cancer. I was introduced to Lung Saskatchewan, to radon, to the lung family, and they offered to test my home. And that's when I found out that it was high. And so from there, the only plausible answer was that it was a radon-related cancer. My stepfather, he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and he did lose his life. It was scary and astounding that he had grown up in the same home that we grew up in. It was originally his home, and he was diagnosed, and then now 5 years later I was diagnosed with lung cancer. And so we had to kind of ask ourselves, what might be the common denominator here? And it was, in this case, the home. I was in remission after a year of treatment. Altogether, I did 5 months of chemotherapy, 2 surgeries, and finally 20 days of radiation. All in all, the targeted treatments were just about 2 years. It was an extraordinary moment to find out that I no longer have cancer. It was exciting, it was terrifying, it was beautiful, and it was all of those things. I remember ringing the bell in the cancer center and just being so elated, that I was cancer-free and that I was gonna get an opportunity to live and to move forward with my life. And really, I think it was that day that I decided that I was just going to stop at nothing to bring awareness to radon and help people and try to make a difference. And so since then, I've written a book, and I've put a lot of effort and time into podcasting and trying to raise awareness for all different types of fears that come with cancer, and the awareness of what can cause it and all of those sorts of things. And it's just been a really beautiful life since then.